multiplayer, and you have to pay with real-life currency to unlock cosmetics. I'm just throwing the bad stuff at you now, and it's the good stuff later. Hey, what's up? Dynasty, another MultiVersus video, and today got another episode of hashtag Tony Talks, where we dive into the director at PlayerFirst Games' Twitter account, because that is the sole place to get new information about this game, because we've only got 2 trailers for this game. But Tony, who has been very active in replying to a lot of you guys in the community, is back at it again, answering a bunch of questions, including confirming that at this point in time, local multiplayer for this game is not a thing so far. And also, cosmetics are unlocked with real-life currency, gameplay stuff you can earn just simply by playing. So, not pay to win, but pay to have variety. Good news is, a new trailer is on the works and a few small things in between. So with that said, if you are still excited for this free-to-play game, always keep that in mind. This is a free-to-play game dropping sometime 2022. Drop a like on the video. And with that said, well, let's break down some of these replies from Tony from PlayerFirst Games. First things first, Douglas on Twitter says, "Hey Tony, will there be an option for local multiplayer?" And to that, Tony had this to say: "We'll be working on this feature. I don't know what the timeline might be. We're focused on online currently. I know this feature is important to players, and we do plan on supporting this at some point when dev resources are more available. Thanks." Now, somebody saw this exchange and said, "So when the game releases, you can't play offline with your friends?" And to that, Tony simply said, "We're going to try to see if we can get it in prior to the game's release." Now, I know for me, this is kind of a bummer because I was expecting there to be at least a bare bones offline multiplayer option in MultiVersus, but no, they are focusing their resources on the online mode, which again is understandable. They're probably still working from home. This is not a big AAA studio, it's PlayerFirst Games. They gotta focus on what is the selling point for this free-to-play game, again, free-to-play. And that's the online mode. Playing online with your friends, not necessarily on a couch, but I would think that that option wouldn't be too time-consuming, but apparently it is, and apparently they're working on it to try to be there before the game officially launches, so the door is at least open. They are aware it's kind of expected at this point in time in 2022, I think, but then again, it's a free-to-play game. It's free. How critical can we really be? Again, at the very least, the door is open, and they're trying their best to make sure that happens for us who have people at home who want to just hang out and play on the couch with you. So, bittersweet, but at least it's probably on the horizon. So there you go. Have your friend play online with you. That's the solution for now, I guess. And while we're here, let's talk about cosmetics costing real-life currency. So Zachary over on Twitter asks, "Tony, I don't know if you're ready to reveal this just yet, but how does the game incorporate real-world money, cash, IRL? I heard that you said that characters would be obtainable through gameplay, but I also know that games have to be profitable to continue on." To that, Tony said, "Cosmetics, of which we have some really awesome stuff, are unlocked through real currency. Anything that affects gameplay can be earned just by playing." So, for the man himself, if you want a new skin for your character, chances are you gotta pay. And again, this is a free-to-play game. I think we all saw this coming from a mile away, but to have the clarification here, gameplay stuff you can unlock by simply playing. So characters, stuff like that, don't worry. No money required. But to have some skins, again, have some variety, you gotta use your hard-earned cash. So it is what it is, to be expected, but hopefully you're not too upset, because I got some good news. And I say that because just the other day, when asked about a new trailer plan currently being in the works for MultiVersus, Tony said yes. So at least we're getting new gameplay hopefully sooner rather than later. That's something to look forward to other than paying for cosmetics. Speaking of trailers and stuff like that, Juan Gomez on Twitter asked Tony, "Is there going to be a gameplay showcase of MultiVersus, kind of like a brief introduction of how the game plays?" And to that, Tony said, "Yes, we'll do some gameplay breakdowns at some point." So again, we've heard for a few weeks now they were planning on doing that. It seems like they still are. So big thumbs up, more content, more things to react and break down. I am excited to see all those trailers whenever they decide to drop. Keeping up the good positive vibes and news here after the brutal few questions at the beginning of the video. It seems like cross progression between platforms is still a thing. I'm not sure if I've talked about that on the channel. I think it might have been teased, but it's confirmed at least now that cross progression between whatever console you're playing on PC will be a thing. So don't worry about your stats being lost if you go from an Xbox One to an Xbox Series X, you feel me? It transfers. That's awesome. You know what else is awesome? Me going back to these question transitions, and Raul Lazar on Twitter had a really good question for Tony. He said, Tony, will we receive an exclusive skin or something for playing the beta/playtest? And to that, Tony said, we will try to do something to reward the players for testing. So hopefully it's a profile combat card type thing, or like a... Honestly, I have no idea. Maybe we can work together as a community to demand something from Tony if we take part in the beta. We can think of something, because I don't even think they know what they could do for us other than maybe like a icon in a combat card, profile, background or something. Maybe a skin? An exclusive skin? That would be pretty sick, but I don't know if they would do that. But that would be great. Speaking of the beta, though, Taco Concepts on Twitter asks Tony, good morning, I have a question for you. Will we get a console playtest for MultiVersus? Things. To that, Tony said, yes. We'll be testing on console at some point. Sadly, still no word or window for when the next playtest is, and if it will be on consoles, not just PC. But at least they are still planning that for console players like myself. Oh Bad on Twitter asked a pretty unique question for Tony. He said, hey, I'm wondering if we can get some voice dubbing MultiVersus in other languages. And to that, Tony said, thanks, we'll be adding more voice and subtitles to more languages over time. So it seems like dubbing for other languages will be a thing if, you know, English is not your native language. It seems like Player First Games is aware that's not what everyone speaks, and they're going to be addressing that as the game continues to develop, which is a nice thumbs up from me. As for when we can expect MultiVersus, Marcellus Coley wants to know, we all do, and to that Tony said, we're still learning a lot. We'll be addressing that and putting out a new test build so we can hopefully learn more. We're doing this and asking for patience because we want to make a great game that players will love. Thanks for the question. So at this point in time, as recent as the 22nd of this month, we don't know when the game's dropping, but they're taking their time and just reviewing data, and they have another playtest for us. And again, we don't know when, but it exists somewhere in the future. I wish I could tell you. I don't know. And last but not least, I thought this question was also a bit interesting. Domino on Twitter says, here's a question you might not get much. Will there be some type of creative mode to make maps and / any other kind of content for the game? And to that, Tony said, thanks for the question, we'll have to see. Since we're a service game, we can get to this feature over time if enough players want it. So boom, if you are trying to channel your inner Halo Forge mode that Halo Infinite doesn't even have, and you want to just do that in MultiVersus, Tony's not opposed to it. Just gotta demand it for him. So I thought that was a very interesting question. But guys, that is all I got for y'all today. I think the key points out of all of this are that it's got to cost some money to unlock cosmetics in this game, which again isn't really a surprise because this is a free-to-play game. I would have hoped that they would have been obtainable by just playing like characters, but seems like that's not the case. And offline mode with local multiplayer is not a thing right now, but at least they're working towards that. And at the very least, there's a trailer on the way, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later. Cross progression, that's a thing. Language options, that's a thing too. Stage creator, maybe if we demand it. Just a few days ago, we were talking about stage hazards, so it's not all bad. It's some good. Keeping the optimism flowing, I am trying to do that. But anyways, what do you guys think of all these questions answered from another episode of Tony Talks? I want to see your responses in the comment section down below. Of course, if you are still hyped for this game dropping in sometime 2022, I wish we had a release date or a window, but we don't. But 2022, drop a like on the video, and of course subscribe for some more MultiVersus updates like this here on the channel from your boy. Until next time, I've been your host, Boon Dynasty. You guys please take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video. And by the way, Tony, before I go, if you do stumble upon this, I want to say you guys are doing everything right. It's a breath of fresh air to see a studio, a WB studio at that, come into this and just be completely transparent and receptive to feedback and criticism. And it's just nice. It's nice to see you guys really want this project to be a success, and for this being a free-to-play game, and the you hear free-to-play, it's like an infamous thing, you know what I mean? It just comes with all that bad connotation. I'm glad to know that the reports from months ago when we first heard about this leaked Smash clone, it's not a leaked Smash clone, it's MultiVersus. It's kind of coming into its own, and to see it's a studio that's actually really just driven to make sure this game is done right, characters that make sense. It's awesome. Who would have thought in 2022 we were just thankful for studios being upfront about things in and not in the game? That's where we are, and thankfully player first games are living by their word and players are coming first. So salute to you guys. Keep up the great work. I know there's some things that people are concerned about, but I'm sure once the game releases, DLC starts dropping, everything will be ironed out. I'm so excited to potentially play in a playtest. So thank you guys. You're the best. Keep it up, and I'll see you all in the next video. Again, I just repeated that 30 seconds ago. Why are you still watching me? Click on another video. Goodbye. I love you. Peace.